What's good, everybody? We're back again with another video, and today we are here to talk about the NBA playoffs. What we're going to do today is we're going to break down each series for the first round of the NBA playoffs. Of course, we still got the playing games, but I'm just going to pick the teams that I think are going to win. Like, it's really no point of waiting until the play-in is over to discuss it. So I'm going to get straight to this video. Before we get to this video, make sure you like and subscribe to your friends. Please like and subscribe. This is my second time recording this video, and I messed it up the first time. So just help me out, and let's get straight into the video. So for the first series, we're going to start off with the East side, and of course the number 1 seed is the Boston Celtics. But for the number 8 seed, I think we're going to get the Miami Heat. I think they're going to lose tomorrow, I believe, against the 76ers, especially since they just announced that Terry Rozier is going to be out for that game. Hopefully he's able to play the next game, though, because they're going to need him, and especially they're going to need him for this run that they want to go on. So hopefully he's able to play that next game, but I know he's going to be out Wednesday, so I'm going to have the 76ers beating them on Wednesday, and I believe they play Friday. I'm going to have them beating, I guess, the Hawks or somebody on Friday, and then they're going to face the Celtics in the first round. Now, to discuss that first round, I don't know where I'm going to go, and by the time I do all this talking, I'll let you know where I want to go. But even though one is the first seed, one has had one of the best seasons of all time, just net rating, everything. The team top 5, their starting 5 is one of the best starting 5s we've ever seen of all time. They have an MVP candidate, even though he's not that high, he's still an MVP candidate. They have an all-star, damn near all-NBA guy in Jaylen Brown, who's kind of turned the clock around and became an elite defender again. His playmaking has got better. He's a really good player. They have Kristaps Porzingis for any night. Looks like the best player. Same thing with Derrick White, Jrue Holiday. Like, they have a very, very good team. But on the other side, they have their ops that played them perfectly better than anybody else. And I understand that this is a whole new Celtics team, but to me, I think this is a whole new Miami Heat team. And then when it comes to playoff time, I trust, this is my tier of trust level. I trust Jokic. Right under him, I trust LeBron. Then Steph. Then Giannis. Actually, I'm putting this guy over Giannis. I trust Erik Spoelstra that high. Erik Spoelstra is one of the best coaches of all time, one of the best coaches I've ever witnessed, even if not the best coach I've ever witnessed. It's between him and Phil Jackson, but I trust him that much that I think he can make this series tough for the Celtics, because I still am not that big of a believer in the Celtics. So let's get into talking about this series. So to start off with the Celtics, of course, we got one of the best starting 5s we've ever seen of all time, one of the most efficient offenses we've ever seen of all time, especially in the regular season. Mostly with their offense is they like to just get up a lot of threes. They'll get up like 30 to 40 threes a game. That's just the way they like to play. Not really too much bigger roles, just more so driving kicks, trying to get past the defender, just so they can kick it out to the open three-point guy. You get some post-up touches from Kristaps Porzingis and Jason Tatum. Kristaps is very effective on the post-ups, but Jason Tatum is not. So mostly it's just all threes with this team, and I think that falls into the hands of Spo. I think that's what he wants you to do. I think that's his type of game. That's what he likes to defend, because he's seen it time after time after time. When that three is not popping, they don't know what to do. They don't get to the hoop at an elite level. None of the guys, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, none of them get to the hoop at an elite level. And they have a good enough defender to stop Kristaps Porzingis. If the three stop popping and they try to give it to Kristaps Porzingis, I'm putting Bam Adebayo on him, and he's locking him up. They have Bam Adebayo, and I think that hurts the Celtics. I think this is a very bad matchup for their offense, because this is always going to be one of the most disciplined teams in the league, and they have a few of the best defenders in the league, and Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. And then they have really good perimeter defenders in DeLon Wright, Cody Martin, Hayward Highsmith. They're just a very deep, good team when it comes to defense that is very disciplined. And I think that can hurt the Celtics, because of course we're going to see it. We've seen it plenty of times in the playoffs this game when they don't hit their shots and they don't know what to do. And those are normally the games where they fold. And that falls right into the hands of the Miami Heat. And that's when they will capture that light in the bottle. And they will start hitting all their shots, because that's how they do. And I know you're probably going to say, bro, Boston has one of the best defenses in the league, and Miami's offense is trash. I understand that. I agree with that. That's why I still don't know where I'm going in this series. But we've seen it time after time after time. They just find something in the playoffs, and all their shots starting to get down. They've always been one of the worst offenses in the league. But once it touches the playoff time, they're one of the best. And it's hard to judge that. And then when Jimmy Butler sees his team, he really doesn't care who's in front of him. He looks at them as little bros. I don't believe in that playoff Jimmy stuff. Well, I know when he sees the Celtics, he's damn near the playoff Jimmy thing y'all believe in. But I don't really believe in it like that. But when he sees the Celtics, it's up. So I don't know where to go with this series because I understand I can see a world where the Celtics just dog them like Miami Heat. They just don't come to play. Everything I just said was wrong. I can see that. But I can also see a world when they're in a 7-game series because they just don't know what to do when that three is not popping, or they're just not disciplined enough in their own right and lose that series against the Miami Heat. Even though the Miami Heat are an 8th seed, I can see that happening, especially with the improvements on the other side of the ball and Bam Adebayo and Duncan Robinson. This is not the same Heat team. You got Jaime Jaquez. Hopefully he can play well after having like a bad stretch for the last 2 months, and I believe a lot of that is injuries, but hopefully he can find his line in the bottle. But that's what they do in the playoffs. They do that. They find their line in the bottle. So I don't know where to go with this series. I'm going Heat in 7 in a tough 7. I might even go Heat in 6 because I just feel like they match up perfectly with this team. Hopefully Terry Rozier can play because he's not going to play on Wednesday. But they match up so perfectly with this team that I don't know, bro. I'm going Heat. I think this team has the formula to make this series very, very hard for Jalen Brunson. Not slow him down, not stop him, because you really can't do that with a superstar these days. You can't stop a superstar. But they have the defenders on their team to kind of slow him down. They have the scheme to kind of slow him down, play off Embiid. When it comes to defenses, that motherfucker's crazy on defense. It's just a lot for Jalen Brunson to overcome, and I don't think he can. And then we don't really know what we're going to get from Josh Hart. Like last year, he wasn't that good. We don't know what we're going to get from Dr. DiVincenzo. He wasn't that good last year. Monson Brock didn't play last year. OG, we never know what we get from him offensively in the playoffs. Isaiah Hartenstein, that's my guy. I would never say anything negative about him. But they just have the defenders to make it hard for Jalen Brunson and the Ricky Council guys, Nick Batum, D'Anthony Melton. I'm forgetting one more player. Kelly Oubre. They have the big wings on the perimeter. They kind of make it hard for them. They can double because Embiid is very switchable. Even though we're only going to get like 80% of Embiid, that's still one of the best players in the world. And I think it'll be a hard task to ask Hartenstein to slow Embiid down. I think he might go for 38 that series, like a game. And then Tyrese Maxey, he's going to have a hard time on OG Anunoby. I get that. But I think they have other pieces around him, so if he is having a hard time, you still got shot creation come from Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, even at times Kyle Lowry, and you still got Buddy Hield. So they're a very good team. I slept on the 76ers a lot. They are a very good team, and I will have them in 6. Sucks that New York as a second seed, but they wanted it. They went to double overtime in that game. Not us, nigga. We lost to the Charlotte Hornets. We know we won it. But yeah, that's it for that series. And in 3-6, we're not going to get any highlights for this. I'm going to be quick with this. If Giannis not playing, Bucks in 7. But if he is playing, Bucks in 5. If he's not playing, that's more so what I'm going to focus on. I think the Indiana Pacers are too green. What that means is they're too young and they're too soft. And I don't think that will help them in the series. I know Damon's been up and down, and I even said it on my Twitter. I don't know how I watched this season and rate him highly, but I do think this series, nobody on that other side can guard him. Even at his age, where even when he's playing bad, he's still dropping 24 and 7 on some decent efficiency, and I think he can dominate this series. I do think their defense under Doc Rivers has been better. I think the team under Doc Rivers has been better. People just gotta realize, bro, they've been hurt. The schedule got harder as soon as he got there. Again, like I said, they've been hurt. And also the team is just it's not built properly. But guys like Pat Connaughton, Patrick Beverley, Jake Crowder, and Bobby Portis have stepped their game up under Doc Rivers. And that's going to help this team get out this series, bro. Because I don't think on the other side, I think they're too young and soft. Like Miles Turner, him as your big, you're soft in general. No offense, you're soft in general. And then I think they have the pieces to slow down Pascal Siakam. Very good player, one of my favorites. But his game at times can be limited. Same thing with Tyrese Halliburton. His game at times can be limited. I would put Patrick Beverley on him and let him annoy him the whole series. And we've seen it at times when he's forced to score for himself. It's not that good at it. So I'm going to go with the Bucks. And like I said, what I say, if Giannis plays 5, if he don't play 7. I do think it will be a gritty, hard series if he doesn't play. But if he plays, that's 5. So next series again, Magic versus the Cavs. Listen, this series pissed me off because we were supposed to be facing the Indiana Pacers, but we want to lose to the Charlotte Hornets, which I get it, but I think it was a sucker move. But Now we got to work because the Magic are here because they work hard. I think talent-wise, if you look at this talent, look at our team compared to their team, this should be a 5-game series. We should be moving on to go play whoever comes out that Boston Miami Heat matchup. But the thing about my team is we think our talent is going to get us everywhere, and it really doesn't. It doesn't because we don't work hard. We don't have guys that will dive on the floor. We have one, actually. We have two. Isaac Cole, Max Shoes, they will do that. They will dive on the floor, get the loose balls. They actually box out, which is a problem that everybody else on the team has, other than Tristan Thompson. But everybody else has a box out problem. They fight for extra rebounds. They do all that. But the thing is, the Orlando Magic have a team of that. We just have two players. Because the rest of our guys think our talent is going to get them through. No, they have a team of that. Jalen Suggs, Gary Harris, Markelle Fultz, Paolo Banchero, and Franz Wagner. Mo Wagner is going to be held this series. Wendell Carter, Anthony Black. Like, they have a Jalen Suggs. They have a team of dogs. Jonathan Isaac. And I think they can surprise us. So I'm going to go not Magic. I'm going to go Cavs in 7. But if we take them seriously, even though they're young, Cavs in 5. I think our offensive power is just at times it can be too hard for them to guard. Even though they're very good defense, when we're clicking, and it's hard. And then I think we just had the defense to shut down anything they have on that side. But like I said, the reason why I have it going 7, because I don't think we're going to be locked in. I can't believe it. This whole season, we've just been so lazy. So, Cavs in 7. Okay, next, I'm going to start with the 4-5 matchup. Mavericks versus Clippers. Listen, this is a hard series for me to judge into because I feel like they match up perfectly for each other. But then we look at it and we still don't know if Kawhi is healthy or not. I thought it was a smoke screen. I thought he was healthy for the last 2 weeks, but then I'm hearing his knee is swelling and all that stuff. And I'm like, bro, if he's hurt, I don't even care to watch this series. So I don't know where to go. I'm going to talk like Kawhi is playing because I do believe wholeheartedly that he's going to play. And if he plays, I think they match up perfectly. What I would do is I would match up Kawhi on Luka and I would match up PG on Kyrie. But I do think at times Kai and Luka are going to cook them. But I think Kawhi and PG are going to give it to him right back on the other side. And just the fact that they also have a Harden who is still a very, very good player. And then same thing with Russell Westbrook. The fact that they do have them guys on the other side is also very scary. And I kind of question who else is going to be there to help Luka and Kyrie. Because I feel like on the other side, even though we know James Harden as a choker, even though I don't think he's a choker, but the media thinks he's a choker, even though people know that, and they also feel the same thing about Russell Westbrook. I think their roles are so lowered that like I don't think they have an excuse not to show up. Like I'm 100% sure they are going to show up. But then again, we look on the other side and just the pieces that the Mavericks have added have been amazing, perfect pieces. Like I always say, to me, this is the best team Luka has ever been on. They got the perfect pieces in Derek Lively, who is a very good lob threat, a very good defender for a rookie. Then you also got guys like Daniel Gafford, who is a very good defender in the league, also a very good lob threat, a very good finisher, one of the best finishers in the league. Then you got PJ Washington, very versatile defender, and also can pick and pop, which is something Luka hasn't really had at an. I don't want to say PJ Washington is an elite at it, but hasn't really had a very good level since like 2020 Maxi Kleber when he was very, very good. I used to love me some Maxi Kleber, and he's still decent. But now having an upgraded version, a younger version, PJ Washington is something they haven't really had. And you got guys like Derrick Jones Jr., Dante Exum, Josh Green, who play their part. And they can be big in this series, but they can also be bad in this series. I trust the Clippers role players a lot more. Guys like Norman Powell, Daniel Tice, Russell Westbrook, I would consider as right now as a role player. Zubac, I trust them guys a lot more than I would say I trust the other side. But again, this is gonna be a hard series, bro. I think Luka and Kyrie can absolutely cook, especially Kyrie. If he brings his A game, he can cook this series. So I'm going to go Mavs in 7, even though I want the Clippers to win, because as a Paul George fan, I need this ring more than anything. And as a Russ fan, I need this ring more than anything. But yeah, I'm gonna go Mavs in 7. I just think Luka's tired of losing to these niggas. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, I'm going to Mavs in 7. But if Kawhi is healthy and if he's playing, I might switch my pick. I'm not gonna lie. Kawhi's playing. It's not probably two players I'm taking over Kawhi when it comes to playoff time. So, but I would still go Mavs at 7 next to the 3-6. Okay, now with the 3-6 matchup, we have the Phoenix Suns versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now this sucks because the Minnesota Timberwolves been fighting for number 1 all year, but they ended up going to the game where they could have been the 2nd seed if they beat the Phoenix Suns the last game, and they didn't. They got blown out, and that's been a reoccurring event this whole season. Once they see Phoenix, they get blown out. No matter if they're healthy or not, they get blown out, and that's got me wondering a lot. But I'm gonna kind of wash away all those thoughts and just focus more on this series. I think this is a very good matchup, but a very tough matchup for the Timberwolves. I think they match up good when it comes to defense. If it was me, I would put Anthony Edwards on KD. I understand J-Mac is big, and you'd probably be like, oh, KD's going to shoot over him. KD's shooting over everybody. Just stop. He's shooting over everybody. My idea of putting Anthony Edwards on KD is we see when KD is getting roughed up. Not that he folds, but he's not as efficient as the normal KD is. And I think Anthony Edwards will do a better job at roughing KD up than I would say J-Mac can do. And I think at times Books not folds, but struggles on bigger guys, like huge guys like that, except for Herb Jones. That's a 50 ball every time he sees him. But with J-Mac, I think that can be a hard series for him. I think he can make it harder for Book. But the thing that is, who the fuck is guarding Bradley Beal? And this is why they did this. Because, all right, you want to shut down on 2 guys? We have a guy that used to lead the league in scoring, still one of the top 50 players in the world. Still very, very good. So that's the hard part. And then I think, like, when it comes to the Timberwolves offense, the shit is so bad. It's so hard and bad to watch. Like, it's terrible. And like for this series, you need somebody that can kill the drop coverage. They don't really have that, and it's not good at pull-up shooting. Cat is not really creating for himself on the outside. Nas Reed, I guess, but like, come on, be honest. Like, you're gonna need somebody to kill the pull-up shooting, because I'll tell you one thing, on the other side, they're gonna be killing. Play drop coverage if you want. Rudy's gonna have to guard on the perimeter the most he's ever had on his career, because he's going to have to, because they will kill the drop. You have 3 mid-range maestros over there. They will kill that drop coverage. So, hey, bro, it sucks to say I'm going Suns at 6. I just think the Timberwolves very good regular season team, and like they need to get another outside creator next year, and if that comes at the expense of Cat, so be it. Nas Reed is right there, and I don't want to say he's better, but that boy is cold and he needs to be a starter. But yeah, I just think it's too much. It's too much for them to handle, and especially when you got guys like Grayson Allen popping, Eric Gordon popping, Royce O'Neal popping. That can, like, then they're just hitting you from everywhere, from all angles, and like it's over from there. So yeah, I'm going to go with Suns in 6. Next series, the 2-7 series, don't really have to focus too much time on. If it's the Pelicans or the Lakers, that's a 4-game series. Or 5. I'll give both the teams 5. But other than that, it's not a series they're gonna have to work before. Shout out to the Denver Nuggets. 1. I have the Lakers winning tonight, and I have the Warriors beating the Kings tonight. I have the Warriors beating the Pelicans. Thunder versus Warriors is a hard series. Listen, you might be like, yo, the Warriors are a 10th seed, bro. This is the West. The Lakers are not a bad team. The Warriors are not a bad team. The Kings are even not a bad team. They're the worst team in this playoff race, though. But, yeah, none of these teams are bad teams. They're just in the West. And have dealt with, one has dealt with Draymond Green, and the other has dealt with Darvin Ham. But, yeah, the Warriors would not be here if Draymond Green didn't get suspended the second time. Like, they will be a 50-win team up there in the 4-5 series, damn near. So, you can probably understand where I'm going with this series. I'm not going to use the too young thing, because I don't think the Thunder are too young. But I think they ran into the wrong matchup. Especially with this new Warriors with a healthy Clay, who's actually been very, very good over the last 2 months. Same thing with Andrew Wiggins, who's also been pretty good over the last 2 months. Draymond Green is always going to be really good. And then the Tracy Jackson Davis at the 5. That's hard. That's hard. Especially with Clay and Tracy Jackson Davis with their little click they got. That's just a hard thing for Chet to deal with. When I talk about Tracy Jackson Davis, I think he's going to make Chet work. He's going to have to work to get them boys. Of course, Draymond is too, but he's going to have to make them work. And then on the other side of the ball, when we're talking about OKC's offense, how I would do the matchups, I would have Draymond on Shea. Listen, if you're gonna kill me, you have to kill one of the best defenders of all time. That's still at his peak damn there. You have to kill that. And then I will put on Dub. I will put Wiggs on Dub. I will put Clay on Giddey, Steph on Lou, and I trust Chase Jackson Davis on Chet. If they actually use Chet like a 7'1" unicorn, I don't know if I would trust it. But they don't really use that Chet like that a lot. So I would do those matchups. I think this comes down to the bench guys, the Isaiah Jones, the Casey Wallace, the Jalen Williams, on the other side, the Chris Pauls, the Jonathan Kumingas, the Moses Moody's, the Brandon Podzinskis. It comes down to that. Because I feel like as a starting five, they match up with each other perfectly. So, and then you got like the X factor of two superstars going up against each other. 7-game series, I really want this series bad. 7-game series, I'm going Warriors. It's hard to bet against Steph, especially against a team like not this young, but this green. So yeah, that's it for my first round pick'ems, bro. That's hard, bro. That's hard, bro. The NBA is deep in talent. It's deep in talent, deep in great teams. So let me know what you think about this video. I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully, when I press stop recording, this video will save. Because if not, this video will never come out. Oh.